Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm so excited for today's video. I have the new NATASHA Denona Tropic Palette in my hands here, and I just started playing around with it. So this is kind of a first impressions. It's maybe like a second impressions, but it is still relatively new to me. But I wanted to share with you my thoughts on it, my initial thoughts at least, and also to let you know that I am doing this in collaboration with Puffin's wife, one of my all-time favorite YouTubers. I'm getting a little teary. But anyway, if you're interested in hearing about this palette, watching a demo of me doing this eye look, then just keep on watching. So a few weeks ago, I approached Puffin's wife to see if she'd want to do a collab, and she said yes. I was so surprised. I was like, oh my God, thank you. So Puffin's wife is one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm sure you guys know who she is. She is, well, she's beautiful. Let's just get that out of the way. She is freaking beautiful. And she reviews and talks about a lot of the same makeup products that I like and I like to talk about. So I always find myself seeing her thumbnails come up, you know, my subscription feed, and I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it. I don't want her opinion to sway mine. And then I'll put out my video on the same product, and then I'll go back and I'll watch it. And I'm like, if we have the same opinion on something, I'm like, yes, like I feel so validated. So I just absolutely love her channel. If you haven't heard of Puffin's wife, head on over. I'm going to link down to her channel and her video in my description box. So definitely head on over there. I doubt you haven't heard of her. She's amazing. And she used to work at MAC. She used to work at Nordstrom. I think she is still at Nordstrom, but she's on medical leave. Anyway, that's a whole long story. So anyway, she's just amazing. Definitely check her out. So anyway, let me get into this palette. So first, let's just talk about all of the packaging situation. So it came in this metallic blue box. I ordered it off of Beautylish. It's $129 for 15 pans. It is the same pricing for her other 15 pan palettes, including the Lila and the Sunset palette. But I was so happy to see this like metallic blue, because her palettes usually come in like a white box, which is fine also. But with her Sculpt palette, the one that was like a contour highlight palette, and then with her latest Diamond Blush palettes, she started moving away from that kind of like faux leather, kind of foamy material for her palettes into hard plastic palettes. So the Tropic palette is hard plastic, which I love, and there's a gigantic mirror on the inside. And then she has added the shade names right onto the palette, which is great. Usually there's that plastic overlay. I keep referring to her older palettes, and I should just show you. So this is what her older 15 pan palette looked like. So this is that kind of like, I think this is faux leather. And then you would open it up, it's magnetized. And then there's this plastic sheet with the shade names on there. And then the shadows were kind of housed in this kind of like foamy material. So anyway, I think that this new packaging is such an improvement. I just love the plastic. I love that the shade names are right on here. And an additional plus, if that wasn't enough, an additional plus is on the back you'll see some pinholes. So you can pop these pans right out and very easily. They're magnetized, and it's just great. So I am so super excited for this. I mean, once you kind of change out the pans or whatever, the names won't make too much sense, but I kind of love that they're there, because sometimes when I pop out pans, like I've been doing that with the Viseart Grand Pro palette that I have no complaints with their packaging. It's fine as well. But when I start like popping them out and kind of replacing them and moving them around, I'm like, how was this? Like, I do want them back into the original spot. I don't know. That's important to me. So anyway, this is nice because I kind of know what goes where when I want to move things back. I love this blue color. It just reminds me of the Caribbean. And then it's got this like hot pink border. And then it has this great kind of like nude colored framing around the pans, which is nice. It doesn't kind of interfere with your perception of the colors. So I think that was a really nice choice to kind of frame it with this kind of like warmish nude color. What else can I say about the packaging? I think that's it. Let's move into swatches, because we all want to see what these shades look like. So I'm just going to go from left to right, top to bottom. And oh God, these just feels so good. So here are the first three. So we have Peach Puff, which is a creamy matte, Sangria, which is another creamy matte, and then Fake Tan, which is also a creamy matte. Here are the next three. So we have Cocoa, which is a creamy matte, Sahara, which is a creamy matte, and Nudist, which is a creamy matte as well. Here are the next three. Here is Vintage Taupe, which is a creamy matte, Pastel Melon, which is a creamy matte, Gusti, which is a shimmer shade. Here are the next three. Oh my god, don't those look amazing? Here is Limoncello, which is a duochrome. This is Mint Frost, which is a shimmer. Here is Exotic, which is a metallic. Here are the next three. Uh-oh, I ran out of space. I'm gonna come over here. This is Laguna, which is a creamy matte. Tiger Lily, which is a metallic. Xena, which is also a creamy matte. So there are all the shades. So there are 4 different finishes in this palette. So there is creamy matte, of which there are 10. There is duochrome, of which there's only 1, which is that limoncello color right here. So there are 2 metallic colors, one being this Tiger Lily, this really deep, rich blue, and then the other being Exotic, which is this bright Kelly green down here. And then there are 2 sparkle shades, which is Gusti, this color right here, and Mint Frost, which is this color here. So this palette is very creamy matte heavy, which I appreciate. I think matte colors are, you know, the most universal and the most versatile and probably the easiest to use. And I think it's great that all of the like metallic and duochrome colors are kind of the more exciting colors, like the limoncello and this Mint Frost and Exotic and Tiger Lily. That is just so super cool. So Natasha Denona mentioned that she laid out this palette so that you could easily work with them in these vertical rows here. These have all the complementary colors that you want, and you can see that with the colors. So yellow and purple are complementary, orange and blue are complementary, and like red and green are complementary. So all of these will work out for you. And then also, I think what is so great about her palettes is you can almost like not mess up, even though these colors are so bright. And yeah, I mean, I feel like you could probably do whatever you want, which is what I ended up doing. And I think the look comes out pretty good. So yeah, I just think her palettes are genius. So far, what I can tell, the quality of these shadows are very similar to her previous palettes. I, of course, have not gotten a chance to wear all of them. So if that changes, I will definitely let you know. But from what I can tell, there is a little bit of fallout from the shimmer shades. When I used this limoncello color, there was a little bit of fallout, but not too major. And there's something to note with Natasha Denona matte shadows. There really is very little kick up. They're not very powdery at all. They are really creamy mattes. And so they go on and they blend, but they're very, very pigmented, and you really kind of have to, they will blend out, but you have to like work at it a little bit. You know, they're not very powdery. Like the Viseart shadows are a little bit more powdery, and they're like a dusting of the color, and they blend really easily. These, because they're so rich and they're so creamy, they just take a little bit more work. Not to say that that's bad in any way, I'm just saying you have to work with them a little bit differently. So let's get into the demo. So Mel and I, Puffin's wife and I, decided that since she is so great with color and she just has such a bolder look, that she would do kind of a more daring, colorful look, and I would do one that's a little bit more easy, neutral, kind of everyday. And so this is the one that I came up with. I, of course, could not resist using the Tiger Lily color, and that's what I used to line my lower lash line. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing how I got this eye look, then just keep on watching. All right, so I'm going to start in with an all-over shade. I'm going to start with Fake Tan, which is this center shade right up here. It's matte, and I'm going to go in with my Wayne Goss number 16 brush, a nice fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to place this on my lid. And then I'm going to take the color right underneath. It's called Pastel Melon. It's this other matte shade, and it's a little bit brighter. So I'm going to put that on my brow bone area and just sort of lighten that up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my Tom Ford number 13 blender brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Sangria, which is another matte shade. It's like a cool tone, kind of very deep pink. And I'm going to start to deepen out my outer V and my crease area. Oof, I'm loving it. That is so pretty. I love how these mattes are just blending seamlessly into one another. So much fun. I'm going to go into Gusti, which is this kind of pink duochrome shade, and I'm going to place that the center of my lid. I'm just trying to figure out which brush to use. I think I will use, I'm going to start with the Chikuhodo GSM 9. That is this brush. It's a flat shader brush. That is a very light application. I'm going to try a different brush, and then maybe we'll move to wetting my brush. See how that works. I'm going to try the Sonia G Builder 1 brush. This brush is sort of meant for these metallic, kind of hard to pick up shimmer shades. So let me give this a shot. This does seem to have picked up a bit more, and I'm going to just press that on. That is such a pretty color. Okay, I'm going to try wetting my brush and seeing how that picks up the Gusti. I'm taking a small kind of flat synthetic brush. I'm going to use MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to try it on my left eye and see if there's much of a difference. I think it seems a little bit more metallic on the wet side. So I'm just going to even it out a little bit. That's really pretty though. I hope you guys can see the glitter. Next, I like to go into this limoncello color and apply that to the insides of my lids and the inner corner. And again, I'm just trying to figure out which brush to use. I'm going to go with the Hourglass number 7 brush. I'm going to pack that on the insides of my lids there. Whew, there's quite a bit of fallout. Ah, how pretty. I'm loving this look. I'm going to take my Tom Ford brush and I'm just going to really lightly kind of graze it over the limoncello and the Gusti shades just because I want them to be really blended well together. I just want to blend out this top edge a little bit more, so I'm going to take fluffy brush here, the Hourglass number 17 brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of Sahara, which is this shade at the end, and a little bit of Cocoa, which is right next to it. I'm just afraid the Cocoa is a little bit too dark, so I'm going to go between the two pans. And then I'm going to take the same brush, I'm going to go just into Cocoa, and just a little bit, I'm going to use that to warm up my outer corners just a little bit more. Okay, so far I am really, really loving this. I'm enjoying this palette a lot. So I think what I'm going to do to kind of finish off this look is I'm going to go into Tiger Lily, which is this really deep dark blue. It's a little bit of a shimmer, and I'm going to put it along my lower lash line and smoke it out a little bit. I am going to use the Sonia G Pencil 1 brush. Okay, I am kind of super duper loving this eye look. I was thinking about putting more blue up top, but I think it's more impactful when it's just on the bottom there. So let me finish up the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. So here's my final look. I am loving this palette. I know that I just received it, but I think it's in line with all the other Natasha Denona palettes that I have, including the Sunset, the Lila, and the Star palette. I think the mattes are creamy. The shimmers are just a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait to use this palette more. I love her palettes because they're always so unexpected, yet her pairings always work so, so well. Anyway, I could go on, and then the packaging, like, what a nice upgrade. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please let me know down below in the comment section if you have any questions about this, and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video.